Everybody swimming in sunshine. Everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line. Ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine. Everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line. Ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine. Everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line. Ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine. Everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line. Ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Okay. Good morning, councillors. Good morning, officers, for our ordinary council meeting for the 13th of June 2023. Firstly, I'd like to begin with the acknowledgement to country, and I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land in which we meet today, the Darumbal people, and I'll pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. Extend that respect to our neighbouring Aboriginal peoples within our local government area, the Gungaloo Nation people, the Barada, Cabelbarra and Yetamarala people. Also acknowledging the Torres Strait Islander peoples whose lands are in the Torres Straits but who live and work on Aboriginal land. So morning, councillors, and firstly, and then I'd like to take an opportunity to welcome the prayer to be delivered by Pastor Lance Walk-on from the International Network of Churches. Good morning, Pastor, and we'll stand and acknowledge that.
Thank you, Gurumuli. Nabu. Let's open in prayer. Heavenly Father, I thank you for today. It's a day that the Lord has made, and we rejoice in it and be glad in it. And so we be glad with your wisdom and your understanding and all the decisions that need to be made. And I pray for guidance and I pray for your strength upon this council meeting today. We pray that you would bless our city, bless its people, that heaven would come to earth, the great peace of heaven on our wonderful city of Rockhampton. We thank you for it. Bless this meeting, we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Pastor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh. Okay, councillors, we'll move on to apologies and leaves of absence. Councillor Rutherford has tendered her apology and will not be in attendance today. Moving on to the confirmation from the previous minutes, that the minutes be from the ordinary meeting on the 23rd, the special meeting on the 30th of May, and the minutes from the special meeting on the 8th of June be confirmed as a true and accurate record. Could I have a mover and a seconder with regards to that? Moved Deputy Mayor Councillor Fisher, seconded Councillor Wickerson. I'll put that. Those in favour? Those opposed? Motion's carried unanimously. Declarations on matters in the agenda, councillors. We haven't had any declarations, but councillors, that if any conflicts arise during the course of the meeting, please take leave of the meeting to inform the table. Just before we move on, we have some media with the show media at 10:30 this morning, so look to adjourn the meeting around 10 o'clock. And I'd like to invite all the councillors there because we have a very special guest there, and it'd be great to get a group photo with Humphrey V. Bear. So we'll see how that goes this morning. But yeah, just inform the table that we'll take leave at that time. Moving on to public forum deputations nil. Presentations of petitions. We have an item there from Councillor Latcham, 8.1 petition requesting the review of the amendment to Subordinate Local Law number 2, Animal Management 2011. Councillors, it is as read. Was there any questions to that one at all? Councillor Latcham, you're happy to move? Seconder, Councillor Mathers. Put that. Those in favour? Those opposed? Motion is carried unanimously. Thank you. Committee reports nil. Council delegated reports. There's a request for 10.1 for a discretionary application from Councillor Grant Mathers to the Indian Association of Central Queensland. I'm happy to move as recommended. Seconded, Councillor Smith. We'll put that. Those in favour? Those opposed? Motion is carried unanimously. Thank you, councillors. Now we move on to officers' reports. 11.1, the 7 Rocky River Run 2024. The council approved the date for the 2024 event to the 19th of May. I'm happy to move that one. Seek a seconder. Seconded, Councillor Smith. I'll put that. Those in favour? Those opposed? Motion's carried. Thank you. Moving on 11.2, the sponsorship opportunity for the Australia Asiana Grain and Science Association Annual Conference in Rockhampton. I'll hand over to Wade to present that report. Thanks very much, Wade.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning, Mayor and councillors. So the Australasian Grain Association Conference being held in Rockhampton on the 26th and 29th of September will provide a forum for approximately 150 grain scientists, students, nutritionists and others to advance the grain industry. This is actually the first time it's been held in Queensland. So Rockhampton has been selected to hold the annual conference for this international event as the broader Fitzroy region has significant growth opportunities for further grain production, for human consumption, animal feed, and for feedstock into biofuels, including sustainable aviation fuel. With the development of Rookwood Weir and the growth opportunities of cropping in the Rockhampton region, the conference offers opportunities for the region and Advance Rockhampton to pursue talent, investment attraction, and also build the region's agricultural credentials. It is recommended that the council sponsors the Australasian Grain Science Association for the amount of $5,000.
Thanks very much, Wade. Councillors, any questions to Wade with regards to that report? Councillor, I'm happy to move. Seek a seconder. Seconded, Councillor Fisher. I'll move that. Those in favour? Put that. Those in favour? Motion's carried unanimously. Thank you, Wade.
Thank you.
We'll move straight on to the second one, 11.3, the Making Water Work program.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Wade.
So the Making Water Work program was developed in collaboration with the Cooperative Research Centre for Developing Northern Australia and the state government to assist the Fitzroy Food Bowl in growing agriculture in a sustainable and resilient manner in the face of climate change. After the council endorsed the Making Water Work program, progression of the Fitzroy Food Bowl planning back in the 2022 on the 10th of May, 4 of the 5 key projects have begun. So these include the defining a supply chain and developing a precinct vision, visionary land use planning to facilitate development precincts, so that's the South Yamba Planning Foundations report, mobilising strong governance arrangements, integrating nutrient waste and energy streams in agriculture development, so that's the Hyacinth pilot. And the 5th project that hasn't formally begun yet is the Achieving Reef Water Quality Requirements in New Agriculture Development. So this is the project being proposed. So the Reef Water Quality Project aims to assist local landholders with the reef regulations and also Rookwood Weir Land Management Code of Practice on the back of the first tranche of water sales and also the second tranche of water sales to assist landholders to meet their obligations. So to assist the development of landholders within the Fitzroy Food Bowl, it is recommended that Council allocate $125,000 from the current economic development budget, noting that the economic development team has a positive variance due to various revenues that have come in from different projects. This project is also a collaborative project, so working with the Cooperative Research Centre for Northern Australia, the Department of Agriculture and Fisheries, with the total amount will be about $271,000 from the 3 partners if Council wants to proceed.
All right, thanks very much, Wade. Again, fantastic program. I'm happy to move. I'd like to just also mention that having maximising the largest river system in the east coast of Australia and protecting the reef, both work in that space, and that's something there that we see more jobs and growth in that area. on the back of the Morton Co feedlot announcement and what they're talking about with the granular fertiliser and what options that has for the nutrients into the system and what that can mean going forward is a fantastic project, again stemming from the Making Water Work program in the first place. So I think it's a great opportunity and one that our region can benefit greatly from moving forward. So it's great to see that we're moving on to the second phase. Seconder, I'll have Councillor Kirkland as the portfolio for environment for that. Any questions or comments to Wade? If not, I'll put that. Those in favour? Those opposed? Motion's carried unanimously. Thanks very much for that report, Wade. Moving on to the next one, the Ag Jobs Queensland Platform Sponsorship.
Excellent. Thank you, Mayor.
11.4.
The Ag Jobs Queensland platform has recently been launched by the Queensland Farmers Federation to connect employers across agriculture and prospective job seekers. The Rockhant region's agricultural and food manufacturing developments in the next 3 years is expected to grow to around about 350 FTEs, from on top of the 1,600 that is currently employed within the region. The positions will be varied, ranging from agri-tech scientists, irrigators, horticulturists, stock hands, and all the way through to veterinarians. It is recommended that the Council utilises the recently launched Ag Jobs platform as one of its marketing touchpoints, integrating the Live Work in Rockhampton campaign for this industry area, noting that this campaign is in line with the Rockhampton Region Economic Action Plan for 2023-2028. Proceeding with the recommendation will see $7,500 allocated from the current economic development budget. Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks very much, Wade. Again, having a diversification in our economy, but relying on our staples, which is the ag sector, supporting this project is one that, again, jobs and growth, and something there that the Rockhampton Regional Council through Advanced Rockhampton is very supportive of going forward. I'm happy to move as recommended. Deputy Mayor Councillor Fisher, second. Any questions to Wade on that one? If not, another great report. I'll put that. Those in favour? Those opposed? Motion's carried unanimously. Thank you, councillors. Thank you, Wade.
Thanks, Mayor and councillors.
Moving on to our 11.5, the trustee lease renewal for the Cattle Club. Is Mark with us? Do we have someone? Mark online? Or Alicia? Councillors, does anyone have any questions with regards to that one, as we're looking through the master plan for the showgrounds and working with the stakeholders in that group? This is one that we're looking at a rolling lease agreement and working with them as we look at those opportunities going forward. So, move Councillor Smith. Councillor Wickerson, have a question?
That's right. Just a comment. Oh no, I guess it would be a question, Mayor. I think we're all going to the dinner or the welcome pretty soon there, and every time I go there, I'm amazed at all the memorabilia that the Cattlemen's Union, Cattlemen's Club have there. Whatever we move forward with, whether it's a new facility or part of a bigger facility, to have some place dedicated for their memories. I think they've got a strong association with obviously Rockhampton and the show itself, but just to have something that they can claim as their own little part of something as we move forward.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's going to be brought up with consultation with them. But.
Yeah, you're right. And again, just the previous one, our ag's a big contributor to our region going forward, and not to forget the past. And I'm sure that's part of that consultation that's occurring. Alicia, did you have a comment around that?
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Mayor.
You're right.
I just wasn't quick enough. I was midway a conversation at this end. So just with that renewal of that lease, so just to add to that report, councillors, we did have a discussion with the Cattle Club last week, and they're sort of happy with this in terms of this approach, because we are engaging with them throughout the Rockhampton Showgrounds master planning exercise. They'll have plenty of opportunity to contribute to that end result.
Yeah, that'll capture what Councillor Wickerson was commenting there on the history and memorabilia that's in that building. So I'm sure that'll all be part of those discussions going forward. Okay, Councillor Smith moved. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Wickerson. Councillor Wickerson moves, seconded Councillor Smith. Put that. Those in favour? Those opposed? Motion's carried unanimously. Thank you, councillors. Moving on to 11.6, Rockhampton Regional Council's Planning Scheme Major Amendment, Version 5, preparation and commencement. Alicia? Or Cam? Hey, Cam.
Good morning, Mr Mayor, and good morning, councillors. This morning's report is in relation to commencing another amendment to the Rockhampton Region Planning Scheme, being version 5. The contents we're looking at being some updates to the flood hazard overlay code, levels assessment as well as looking into some changes for residential codes. In relation to the reasoning for this amendment, there's, I guess, a bit of a time imperative around updating particularly the levels of assessment for the flood hazard overlay code. At the moment we're seeing some greenfield developments getting triggered for impact accessible, and we're looking to update that to make that code accessible. In addition, we're also, as councillors will be aware, the Queensland Housing Summit and looking into promoting particularly infill development for residential zones. So we're also looking at some amendments there as well. The officer's recommendation is simply to commence the preparation of this amendment. We're not actually looking into any decision making around the contents of that amendment, other than to start preparation for it. The other part of the report refers to 78 East Street. As councillors will be aware, last year they resolved to facilitate an amendment under the planning scheme for change of zone for 78 East Street. The recommendation, given the time imperative of some of these other amendments, is to review that as part of the 10-year review. So, as councillors are probably aware, the original planning scheme was adopted back in 2015. And what we're going to do is do a 10-year, yes, I feel old. Yeah, so as part of that review process, we'll go through a number of elements to that. We'll also discuss that next week in a briefing session as well. So we've organised a briefing session for next Tuesday to discuss contents of version 5, as well as rural residential, as well as a 10-year review to the planning scheme. But the proposal is for 78 East Street to be considered as part of that review process, rather than a particular amendment. The issue that's raised in relation to, I guess, individual zoning of this nature is that if the I guess the people who are looking to take over the buildings want a quick approval, doing an amendment to the planning scheme isn't a quick process. It can actually take some time. Council's actually not the assessment manager, the state is, so there's no guarantee of an outcome. So it's recommended in relation to 78 East Street, either we have a look at that as a part of a 10-year review, or we notify the occupants that perhaps lodging a development application for material change of use would actually give them a quicker result, where council is the assessment manager rather than doing an amendment to the planning scheme.
Thanks, Cam. That's something there I understand and believe is probably a better outcome overall, but something there that the table will talk about next week. So happy to do that. The comment I'm getting from the community though is still about lifestyle blocks and the availability of them. I know they're saying that there's plenty of them that are out there, but they're not coming onto the market. That's our problem, and there's a demand out there that's not being met. So I don't know how we capture that moving forward. Is that how do we demonstrate that to the state to say that there is a demand there? But yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, sorry, through the chair. We'll have a chat about rural residential and an approach next week at the briefing session. We sort of feel that to get a more immediate response is actually to communicate with those landowners and ask about what are those impediments, how can we facilitate rural residential development. If we were to do an amendment through the planning scheme,
Takes
it'll take time, but also we found with version 3, even simply bringing land forward from emerging communities to low density residential, we went through a whole process and we'll question over that. So opening up more land will be probably a fairly long process.
I'm prepared to take to the state because we've got a demand out there that there's a housing crisis on, and if we can't get supply to that demand, yeah, there's a bottleneck there that needs to be overcome. Not your call, but I'm happy to advocate in that space on behalf of the table and the council to see how we can streamline that going forward and get some result. Yeah. Thanks, Kem. A couple of questions. I'll go to Councillor Smith, Deputy Mayor, and then Councillor Mathers.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. And when we've touched on this subject in recent years, I've always asked, do we ever talk to real estate agents? Because that could help our case if we can get, some information from them as well.
And again, it's probably just flying it up the flag that that there is a demand out there to some of those ones through media. I'm not sure how we achieve that. Cam, any suggestions on that?
I think for the suggestion next week would be a consultation plan and strategy going forward to encourage and promote, so where we can actually directly talk to real estate key stakeholders to say, look, because we actually have, we do have actually a fair bit of land zoned rural residential that could be developed. So we can have a look at that, but also we can also, as I'll probably talk about more next week, is talk about some other areas that have potential for rural residential and how we can encourage that going forward, rather than perhaps relying on a state process to do it. Yeah.
Deputy Mayor and then Councillor Mathers.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. To Cam, look, I know that we've got lots of land, but the land we've got is not wanted. It's not in the right area, it's not popular with the people, and that is one of the problems. And what has happened is we've sent a lot of our potential landowners to Livingston Shire because they are offering all the bits everywhere if they want it. And it has been more noticeable in the last 4 years that if someone wants a hillside block, they can find it. And I think what we have been doing is we've been pushing potential Rockhampton residents into Livingston Shire. So I think we need to have that discussion. It's not just saying, yes, we've got land, and people look at that and say, no, that is not what I'm looking for, but actually sort of finding out what land is wanted and then how we can find that land.
I'd probably temper that a little bit, Council. I think there's land out there, but it's not coming out onto the market for the sale. That's a challenge that we have. So, and Cam's alluded to, we need a strategy, and we'll work to that at next week's workshop. So, thanks, Councillor Fisher. Councillor Mathers, portfolio spokesperson.
Thanks very much, Mr Mayor. Mr Mayor, I totally understand what you're saying in regards to lifestyle blocks and support that it's something we need to do, but I just wanted to say in regards to, want to commend the strategic planning team for looking at this and acting on something where we can make changes right here, right now. I understand it may not be with lifestyle blocks, but what this allows us to do is if people have got blocks, they can actually subdivide and we can sell off some smaller blocks. It's a direct, it directly aligns with what the Queensland Housing Summit were discussing in regards to making these smaller blocks available, people with smaller budgets, and it's something that we can do to help with the housing crisis right here, right now, and remove anything that we can do to remove the roadblocks to help people with any development whatsoever, and building more homes is definitely a positive thing for me, and I'm more than happy to move this.
Thanks, Councillor Mathers. You're right, it's that infill that we're supporting and pushing into that space to help with the housing matters. Councillor Kirkland.
Oh, thanks, Mr Mayor. Cam, can I just ask the process, again, the timing of actually, obviously this is just the starting point.
Yes.
And I have heard it touted that it takes about 5 years to push through some of these major amendments. So is that the case with this, or are we going to be able to achieve some of these concerns that have been brought up at the table today in a more speedy time frame?
Through the Chair, very good question. In relation to amendments, I can quickly go through the process. So for something like this, as you've probably seen with the flooding amendments and things like that, is that generally you have a preparation stage, where you go and do the amendments, etc. We do a number of reports to address state planning policies and things like that. We'll go back to the table to then submit the amendment to the state. They'll have it for a few months because they have a number of different agencies they need to communicate with. Once it comes back from the state, and during that process too, they can come back and ask us questions, a bit like a DA and an information request type of process. They can come back to us with conditions that we need to meet, such as a conditions on a DA, and then we go out to public, then we go back to state again. So that the process can take 12 months, is a short time frame. We do have 2 lots of, state interest checks to go through. An initial one for when we prepare the amendment, and then one after we complete public consultation. And it really depends on if the amendment meets state interests, and we have a state planning policy, and I can talk a little bit more about that next week. If we address that, then it will take 60 business days through the state. If they have questions, then that can take a lot longer. In relation to public consultation, if you get a lot of submissions, as we've seen with the flood overlays, we actually, it's a process of 20 business days, but it can take a lot longer, and council may choose to take longer anyway. So for that one, we did, I think it was over 45 days in the end for that particular public consultation. We must address all those submissions. We are required to, in a legislative sense, address all those submissions and provide a response. And then when we go back to state government, if we have any changes, we need to identify why we've made those changes and justification, as well as how we've addressed all those submissions. So you can imagine for a flood overlay where you've got over 280 odd submissions, is we need to provide a very detailed report back to the state, and then the state review that. Once it comes back, we can adopt. So that's in an absolute nutshell the whole process, and of course there's a lot of variables. And when we do, such as a recommendation up in Mount Morgan to make a zone change, is we're not the assessment manager, the state is, and there's no certainty in that process. It is a long process because we're updating a legislative piece of document. It's a piece of legislation, it's a local statutory instrument, it's the largest statutory instrument the council has. So it is obviously an in-depth and detailed process to go through.
Mm-hmm.
A bit like the planning schemes and the 10-year reviews or the upgrades. Cam, there's a lot of work involved in that, and councillors that haven't been involved in it, it is a process there that takes a lot of engagement and work through the offices, and Councillor Jacqueline, yes?
Thank you, Mr Chair. Just a second question. Thank you for that, Cam. So that's less than 5 years, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. If it takes 5 years, I might go and work
wrong.
somewhere else. Because, planning schemes themselves can take 5 years.
Yes.
Okay. Amendments themselves, because we're only doing a part of the scheme, it shouldn't take particularly long unless it's controversial, or like the flooding had a lot of submissions, so it's taken longer. So we commenced the major amendment for the flood overlays in November 2021, and now we're hopeful in the next month or so it'll come back from the state for final adoption.
Okay, so that's a year and a bit, nearly 2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
My second question to you, Cameron, is with regards to if there is something that comes to the attention of council that's also would like to include in the amendment that you're doing now, is it too late to do that? That would need to go through this, start again through another process for another amendment? Just asking the question in the event that something was to come to the attention of council that needs adding in.
Yeah, I guess it all depends on what the type of amendment is. And if it's a minor change, we can certainly do that, and what stage we're at in that amendment process. If we've gone through public consultation, for example, and we want to make another change or add something in, then we'll have to go back to state interests, because the state government will need to check against the state interest policies. And in the SPP there is basically 16 state policies all rolled into one, and then you have all your agencies that look after those policies. So.
Yep. Thanks, Cam. I'm happy to second. No further questions. I'll put those in favour. Those opposed, motion's carried unanimously. We'll move on to the next item, 11.7, the development application for material change of use for a shopping centre, showroom and multiple dwellings, 12 townhouses. So, Amanda, thank you.
Have we got a pointer here?
This is...
No, it's not working? Okay. Morning, Mayor and councillors. This morning we've got a proposal for a material change of use for a shopping centre, which is Coles. It's specialty stores, showroom and multiple dwelling, which is 12 townhouses. It consists over 4 stages. So the next one. So we got stage 1, which is the Coles, which you can see in the pink colour. Specialty stores for stage 2 and some outdoor seating. Stage 3 is an extension to the shopping centre, so further expanding it. And stage 4 is the 12 multi-unit, townhouses for the multi-unit dwelling, which is at the rear of the site, which fronts Pott Street. There'll be no vehicle access from Pott Streets to the supermarket. It'll be all from a state-controlled road. The only access to the development will be to the units, from Pott Streets will be to the units. Just with the next slide. The proposed showroom is consistent with the purpose of the zone. However, the proposed shopping centre and multiple dwelling conflict with the purpose of the precinct and the framework of the planning scheme. 10 submissions were received, 4 were against the proposal. The concerns raised are outlined in my report, but were mainly around the impacts and the viability of existing centres and being inconsistent with the planning scheme. These conflicts are outweighed with having regard to relevant matters, as outlined in the statement of reasons of my report. And just to summarise, with regard to the proposed multiple dwelling, there is an overriding planning and community need for additional housing in Rockhampton. With regards to Coles, the council's commercial centre study that we did in 2021, or strat planning did, indicates a new district centre be required for future and identified in this precinct. The centre study indicated the planning scheme provides too much specialised centre zone land for bulky good retail type uses. The challenging aspect, though, is the time frame of when this transition will be required from an economic viewpoint. It is likely that the proposal will create quite a bit of competition for nearby centres, particularly Drake's. However, the proposed development has community benefits, providing increased choice and convenience for residents, and will complement the current offerings of limited line and independent supermarkets within the primary trade area. Plus, with this, Bunnings site is 8,000 square metres, so, well, not the site, sorry, the building alone. So they are demolishing that, and that has been sitting vacant and unutilised for quite a long time now, so it will allow that site, which is in a great location with highway exposure, to be developed. Therefore, the proposed development is recommended for approval, subject to the conditions outlined in the recommendation.
Thanks very much, Amanda. Very exciting announcement, and one there, as you mentioned, the demand is there, and something there that also with the housing, it has dual supports in that space. So, and also future jobs. It's something there that the council is very supportive of going forward with the jobs and growth platform that we've been working on. Got a few questions, so I'll go to the councillors and then we'll look for a mover in a second. Councillor Smith.
Yeah, thanks, Mr Mayor. I've got a friend in Maxwell Street, so I go into Pott Street quite often. It's the only way you can actually get to her place. That's a terrible little turn-off from Pott Street, into Pott Street from Richardson Road, and I couldn't find anywhere where we're going to make the developer do something with that turn-off. Like, it's right near the crematorium there. Is there any plans to upgrade that intersection?
Or further back, you mean where
Off
going into
Richardson
Fee
Road?
Street?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Before Fee Street, like you turn into Pot Street, but it's right on the corner.
Yeah.
Right and it's a really narrow little turn-off.
Yeah, no, there was, as a result of the development, there was no requirement to do that from a traffic perspective.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that because...
Entries off the highway, councillor, it's not
Yeah,
the...
no, for the townhouses even.
Yeah,
The townhouses have got to go that way. And 12 townhouses is quite a few more cars. Yeah. It's just something I picked up with the...
Councillor Kirkland?
Thanks, Mr Mayor. Mayor, I'd just like to ask, I see that the development is done in stages, stage 1, 2, 3 and 4, and that the accommodation has been used clearly to incentivise, but also it's a great gift back into the community. It's stage 4 though, and I'm just wondering whether there's like time frames around the development. I'm confident in my mind that the answer to this is going to be no. They do what they want when they want, but we do have, as far as other developments, there's usually a time frame that they have to develop by. If it's in stage 1, 2, 3 and 4, does that same rule apply, the completion of the development, or do you just put time frame on getting started?
Through the chair, yeah. So the development will have, under the Planning Act, 6 years. So that means everything, the whole 4 stages, have to be commenced within that 6-year period. So they have to take it in accordance with the, like they'll obviously do stage 1 and yeah, the units will happen at the end there. But yeah, they have to complete all within 6 years. They can, just keep in mind, they can come back and get an extension if need be. And sometimes that does happen, but we do have regard to any changes in planning policy in that time frame. Yeah.
And that said, they could do it all in one process
Yeah,
as well.
definitely.
Yeah. Councillor Latcham.
Thanks, Mr Mayor, and I agree with you. This is an exciting time for this block of land. It's a premium piece of land stuck in the middle of residential, but off the main highway, and we look forward to this. Yes, I do agree it will add more competition to the shopping centres, from Parkhurst Shopping Centre through to Drake's on Farm Street, but that might alleviate some of the traffic issues we've got on Farm Street. So really exciting. As Councillor Kirkland has alluded to, it would have been nice to probably see the townhouses built probably first before the actual shopping centre to add more housing stock into the market, but I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. Okay, councillors, I'm happy to move. A question, Councillor Wickerson.
Thanks, Mayor. Sorry, late question. Through you, the only thing I'm a little bit concerned about, just the technical side, the loading dock with semi-trailers coming in and manoeuvring, and generally that's sort of early in the morning when they do their deliveries, is right beside 6 of these units at the end. It does say in the plan that there's going to be an acoustic wall there, but I don't see any detail of that. Is there any accommodation down the track if there is an issue from this, that suddenly when these units are built, the residents start complaining about the truck movements? Is there any way that we could factor in a reconsideration or maybe more acoustic provisions there to alleviate that at this stage, rather than wait for the problem to arise and then have to sort of scramble to do something with it?
Yeah.
We've had similar ones before with fast food takeaways right beside houses and such.
Yeah, through the chair. Yeah, with this one they have done a a fairly large, I suppose, assessment on noise. So they have proposed, and I suppose it's a bit hard because you haven't got the reports attached with it, but they are doing acoustic fencing and quite a lot around the site. So it's going to be, at one point it will be almost from 3.5 to 5 metres, and then there's going to be a landscape buffer obviously in front of it. So we feel at this time and moving forward that will be sufficient to reduce those amenity impacts on those neighbouring units, and it will improve what's currently there. So if you look at the Bunnings site now, if someone was to go in and utilise that current Bunnings site, there is no acoustic fencing at the rear. And I'm sure over the years there was 1 or 2 complaints with this. It's going to be they'll have that acoustic fencing plus landscaping, so it will be sufficiently buffered from those units.
Okay, no, thank you very much.
Thanks, Councillor Wickerson. Councillor Mathers, you wish to second? Second, Councillor Mathers. Again, councillors, this is something that the public have asked me as a mayor over the time, what's happening with that site for a number of years now. So it's great to see that there's an application come through and something there that we'll see jobs and growth, but also housing for the future. It's a win-win situation, and one that I believe we need the council to support, and I'm happy to move that. So I'll put that. Councillors, those in favour? Those opposed? Motion's carried unanimously. Thank you, councillors. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
We'll move on to item 11.8, council delegations of the Chief Executive Officer. Alyssa. Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor, and good morning, councillors. This report is seeking Council's approval to delegate a significant number of legislative powers to our Chief Executive Officer. The report contains 26 attachments, and the recommendation is for the adoption of 18 legislative instruments within those attachments. So we acknowledge that there are a lot of attachments to the report. A copy of this report was sent to councillors in the information bulletin on 1 June to give you a little bit extra time just to review those powers. And essentially why there is so many, you'll be familiar that council for some time now is converting to the LGAQ delegation service and becoming consistent with the powers they identify are delegable. That process is resulting in basically more significant numbers coming through less frequently. So LGAQ provide us updates in relation to their identified powers twice yearly, and that's compared to once upon a time it was monthly. So unfortunately for us that means when you do see these reports there's a whole big bundle now of attachments as opposed to just a couple of pieces of legislation that you would have previously been aware of. So essentially, councillors, attachments 1 to 10 are all new instruments that we haven't previously had, and that again is been identified by LGAQ as delegable powers relevant to local government. Attachments 11 to 18 are existing registers reviewed and updated to correlate with what we do here at council. And the balance of those attachments are just marked up, showing the changes from the existing registers. So the process in getting these attachments to you, identifying what we believe the Chief Executive Officer needs, is quite lengthy. It goes through all the relevant general managers and officers for them to identify what powers they believe they need to carry out their day-to-day operations. And then obviously there's discussions and whatnot within that process. So I'm more than happy to take any questions. Otherwise, over to you.
Thanks very much, Alyssa. It seems like a mountain of items there, but it's one that we're just following through and being led by the LGAQ is that's part of it. But again, it's something there that it's not uncommon for the CEO to have those delegations, and something there that we're mindful of going forward. Questions, councillors? Councillor Kirkland.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. I just note that in the limitations to the exercise of power, that in number 2, Alyssa, it says that the delegate will not exercise any delegated power in relation to a matter which, to the delegate's knowledge, adversely affects or is likely to adversely affect the council relations with the public at large. My question is, so that is up to the CEO to decide if he thinks that a decision is going to do that, and then would that then come to the table? Or what's the process if there is something that comes to the attention of the CEO that might in fact create adverse circumstances between the councillors and the general public?
Yeah, through the Chair, Councillor Kirkland. So that's correct. So the process is these powers here that we've recommended be delegated to the CEO, many of those then get sub-delegated to officers, and any limitation on the CEO's power also flows through to the officers. So all the way down the chain of command, basically, depending on where that power sits, that limitation is in place. And yes, officers through their power are unable to. So it would potentially be an officer that would identify, oh, this is, you know, a little bit trickier, I need to go up and get some approval. And at the end of the day, it would be our CEO that would make that decision. And just to sort of add to that, there are many situations, and we see it through advice through my team in relation to delegations, that despite officers or the CEO having the power, it still comes back to the table. We don't have our CEO here today, but I know he very frequently, despite having the power, will want to come to the table and make sure he's not exercising a power inconsistent to any of those contentious type matters. Inconsistent to what the council table direction has been.
Sorry, Alyssa, yeah, that you're right, and also that we have the power to evoke that delegation as well. So the council table can, if it becomes a contentious issue, can always bring that power back to the table. Yep, Councillor Kirkland.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. Okay, so secondary to that then, in the event that, and I note in here there's delegations to sell land and you know, negotiate and all those types of things, in the event that there's, and some of those are just things that wouldn't normally come to the council table, they're just day-to-day business. If there was to be an incident where some land is being sold, for example, so that's all been done, delegated, and it's over and done with, is there a retrospective, and it becomes a community bone of contention, like it actually comes up that this is something that the community feels that the table should have had a deciding factor in. What's the ramification of that, and is there a retrospective amendment or something that can be made?
Yeah, there's not, Councillor Kirkland, once it's got to that point. However, with land particularly, it's still governed by the Local Government Act, and it in itself requires, unless there's an exemption in that Act, and that's not what any of these powers are about today, it requires a decision at the table to initiate that whole process. Okay. So you might have seen the Acquisition of Land Act in here. The powers in here, we already have that piece of legislation in place with many powers. It's being reviewed. There's nothing changing at that high level in the process. It's simply just the underneath powers of signing forms and transactioning the transaction. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No
Thanks, Alyssa. Thanks.
Okay, councillors, I'm happy to move. Seek a seconder. Deputy Mayor, Councillor Fisher. I'll put that. Those in favour? Those opposed? Motion's carried unanimously. Thanks very much, Alyssa. Moving on to 11.9, the fees and charges 23-24 amendments. Councillors, Marnie.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, and good morning, everyone. So this is actually just an amendment to the fees and charges schedule, which was adopted on the 23rd of May. It's directly in relation to the waste facility regarding the recording of mixed loads containing waste and recyclables to landfill, which wasn't compliant. I believe Michael and Mitch are online if there are any questions in relation to this. However, yeah, it really is pretty straightforward outcome in terms of the report.
Councillor Latcham, did you have any comment on that?
Yes, Mr Mayor, and I guess this is driven from and it's going to be an inconvenience for a lot of people to actually have to go back several times over the weighbridge to get things like fridges and stuff. But they've just got to they've got to get rid of their recycling stuff or recyclable stuff first before they take it over and dispose of it. So it's probably it's kind of a stick, but it will make sure that people it should make sure that people actually do the right thing and go through that resource recovery area.
Yep.
And go through that way. So I don't have a problem with it.
You're right, and the other factor in that is the reduction in the waste levy to the council and how those reducing that resource options there as well. Councillor, is there any questions to that one? Are you happy to move? Move Councillor Latcham, seconder. Councillor Fisher. I'll put that. Those in favour? Those opposed? Motion's carried unanimously. Thanks very much, Martin and Michael and the team. Moving on to item 11.10, the interim management report for the Rockhampton Regional Council 22-23. Thanks very much, Marnie.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. So This is just the interim report from the audit work done as at the 20th of April. The letter was received from TNR as the delegate from the Queensland Audit Office. There isn't really anything of significant deficiencies that have been identified as a result of the interim audit. However, you will see in the attached advice from the QAO where there's one unresolved deficiency from a prior year and 2 matters raised in the current year relating to corporate delegations and information and communications technology equipment disposal methods, and 1 unresolved issue from prior years, as well as 1 unresolved financial reporting matter. Generally in speaking, yeah, this is a good outcome as a result of the interim audit, and now all of the work goes into getting ready for the final audit, which will happen in August, in a couple of months' time.
Okay, thanks very much, Marnie. Again, yeah, the reports are there that Council could see and that will be going to the Audit Committee. But those deficiencies there that have been identified are being addressed through the organisation as well, and read the status reports on that. So that said, any questions to Marnie? I'm happy to move. Seek a seconder. Deputy Mayor, Councillor Fisher. We'll put those in favour. Those opposed, motion's carried unanimously. Thanks very much, councillors. Thanks, Marnie. Moving on to notice of motions. We have a notice of motion from Councillor Latcham to increase the travel allowance budget. Do we have a mover and a seconder? Move Councillor Latcham. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Smith. Councillors, any discussion? Councillor Mathers.
Yeah, Mr Mayor, am I able to speak against the motion?
Yeah, we'll go into the formal one, and I'll have a speaker for the motion to start with. Yep. Councillor Latcham.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. Yeah, this was brought to the table because my budget has gone over the allocation to attend LAWMAC in particular. There's 4 events we go to each year, and they're varied around the state, and it's very important that we do, as Portfolio Chair, that I do attend these meetings. As it turned out, I have missed one this year, purely because I tried to fit it within my budget, and I did everything I can to schedule it, and unfortunately, and I can say that it does put you at a disadvantage because people know when you don't turn up to each one of these LAWMAC meetings. They're so important, relationships are important, and it is an in-attendance meeting, and we do discuss a lot of crucial information in the waste and recycling area. So I do understand that other in particular with waste and recycling, there is, and it probably will always be, exceeding the budget from year to year. So it's one of those things where different portfolios, I believe, have different levels of attendance, and for mine, I find it important that it does cover the travel expenses to be able to attend these meetings.
Thanks, Councillor Latcham. Councillor Mathers.
Thanks very much, Mr Mayor. Mr Mayor, I just want to say, in regards to Councillor Latcham, this is not about, my argument is not about you being able to attend or go away. That's not it at all. It's about purely and simply us as a Board of Directors leading by example and setting examples of how strict our budgets need to be. We're going through a very hard time in regards to the 2023-2024 budget. We're finding every last dollar that we can possibly find, and we're reducing staff training, people being sent away for that type of thing. We're trying to do everything we can to make sure that these costs, as less amount of costs as possible are going on to the ratepayer. And I understand we're only talking $1,500, but if we look at it realistically, $1,500, Mr Mayor, is half of a ratepayer's rates. So there's one person out there who's worked very hard to pay their rates, and we're looking at extending it by it. So I suppose all I'm saying is the reason why I'm against it is we, as a Board of Directors, I believe we have to lead by example, and we have a budget to stick to, and we need to make those budgets work just like every one of our officers do. And I don't think it's the right example to be setting for our officers and staff.
Thanks, Councillor Mathers. Councillor Speaker, for the motion, Councillor Smith.
Yes, thanks, Mr Mayor. As we know, everything goes up, especially airfares out of Rockhampton to Brisbane aren't cheap. But also, if you added up all the councillors' allocation and put against it the expenses, we would have a huge credit every year. I hardly ever use mine at all. And yeah, that's the way I look at it. There would be a big credit there anyway for all the other councillors that don't use that budget. And, you know, we don't need to go away. I mean, I'd like to go to some conferences, but I find it hard to get away. But I think that credit will be there, and I don't think that we're overspending in any way.
Thank you. Councillor, speaking against the motion, Councillor Wickerson.
Thanks, Mayor. No, I understand what you're saying, and again, this isn't anything against you particularly, Councillor, but it does send the wrong message to our staff, it sends the wrong message to the community. I think when we first started talking about this way back when we started maybe putting some constraints around the travel and expenses, we looked at other more technology ways that we can do it, like even during COVID, we did lots of things by Teams and Skyping in or Zooming in or whatever we had to do. We don't always have to physically be there, particularly when the budget's tough. So I think we really need to look more carefully about how we can still have a presence at these meetings, and I don't think it is just waste that travel away. I think in the environment sphere, when I was involved in that, there was always conferences away, some that we had to go to, some that we could Zoom into, or some that well, the budget doesn't cover it, so we don't go. It's just how it is these days, unfortunately. But the main point for me is that it sends the wrong message to staff and the community that we're trying to tighten our belt.
Another speaker for the motion, Councillor Fisher.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, probably what was said at the start really sums it up, is that there is different requirements in different portfolio areas. And while you have a set budget, some of the areas there, the costs have just gone up so much in this term of council. And some of the travel is the plane flights are the cost of the travel is making so much extra cost, and you've got to then balance taking the extra few days of driving to flying just to keep in your budget. And I think that is something that is not always the best outcome, but there are a number of councillors now that are driving to these meetings just to stay within the budget. And we never thought of that when we first brought in this policy. You know, it would be great if we could, you know, just have short distance travel, but Lormac being a representation of half of the state, and that travel cost there does and is becoming definitely a job to actually keep within your budget. I've been driving to most of my meetings, which then puts 2-3 days extra to the travel, or even 4 days to our last commitment. And that is also a problem. So we haven't quite got this structure right yet, but it is sort of something that we do work very hard to keep within the travel budget, really hard. And but it is sort of, these anomalies are actually putting more and more pressure on the roles that we're playing.
Probably a question, Councillor Latcham, how many meetings do they have a year?
4, Mr. Mayor.
4 meetings, yeah. Look, Councillor, I'll speak against the motion. Again, I wouldn't be in my office if I weren't doing Teams meetings. I think the technology's there available for it, and making advantage of that has become more familiar with people now, that after COVID, where it was the norm there for a couple of years. And I believe not having to attend every meeting would be a way to try and make some saving. It's fine to work within the budget for a couple of meetings, but the other meetings you could potentially Zoom in or use the technology to be in that space. That said, I realise that the waste area is an area that's got a lot of change happening, and the need for collaboration with our regional partners is something there that's warranted as well. So, yeah, on that I'm speaking for and against in that space. So, but again, I think there's technology that can be used more wisely when we're looking at you know, tight budget, and how we can take advantage of that and demonstrate to the community constraint in some of these spaces. Okay, councillors, now I'll hand over to you, Councillor Latcham, to wrap up the discussion, the debate. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. Just two main points. One is the budget hasn't increased, during this whole time that we've been elected. So since 2020, it hasn't increased. We all know about cost of living, and it has gone through the roof. And there's no accounting for that, and that's something we need to visit in future budgets. The second thing is, and just to remind everyone, that LawMac is an in-person. It doesn't have Zoom meetings. It's been designed to specifically turn up to the meeting and form relationships and learn from one another. So that's not something that's available for LawMac. It is purely an in-person attendance. So they're the two things to be mindful of, and I hope to have everyone's support on this. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Councillor Latcham. That exhausts debate. I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those opposed? Wish to record votes against it? The motion is carried, and Councillor Mathers and Councillor Wickerson record their votes against the motion. Councillors, as mentioned previously, we do have a media doorstop this morning with the 150th annual show. I'm inviting all councillors out there for that media brief. So I'll move that we adjourn the council meeting until 11:15. I'll put that. Those in favour? Those opposed? Motion's carried. Thank you. Meeting is adjourned, and we'll see everyone back here at 11:15 to resume the meeting. Thank you.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming. I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming. Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Councillors and officers, welcome back. I'll move that we resume the meeting. I'll put that. Those in favour? Those opposed? Motion's carried unanimously. Councillors, we have finished all of our agenda items, but we have 2 items to be dealt with in closed session. 16.1, and there was a supplementary agenda item, 16.2, 23-24 budget briefing, the first one being the Rockhampton Airport site AW lease. Councillors, at the meeting, I'll need a recommendation that the meeting be closed to the public to discuss the following items, which are considered confidential in accordance with section 254J3 of the Local Government Regulations 2012 for the reasons indicated. I'm happy to move. Seek a seconder. Deputy Mayor, Councillor Fisher. Put that. Those in favour? Opposed? Motion's carried unanimously. And councillors, I move in a seconder that the pursuant of the meeting S5S.12 council procedures of the meeting move into closed session be closed to the public. Move Councillor Fisher. Seconded Councillor Mathers. Put that. Those in favour? Those opposed? Motion's carried unanimously. We will now.
And all the goodness we will bring, of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming. Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be. Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine. Everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line. Ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine. Everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line. Ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Okay, thanks very much. Councillor, we have two items there to be resolutions to be supported, and the first one being 16.1, that the officer's recommendation. Happy to move Councillor Fisher, seconded Councillor Latcham. Councillors, any discussion around that? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? The motion's carried. Thank you, unanimously. And the 23-24 budget briefing, that the council received the information associated with the briefing and 23-24 budget as presented. I'm happy to move. Seek a seconder. Deputy Mayor Councillor Fisher. Put that. Those in favour? Those opposed? Motion's carried unanimously. Councillors, that brings us to the end of our agenda items today. Can I thank you all for your participation and the officers for their reports. We'll close.